So today we're going to cook white chili, and I'm going to turn the camera around here in just a second. I've been cooking these beans for 4 hours now, and they are almost done. I think they got about 45 minutes, and I pumped them up, and I'm fixing to turn the camera around where you can see. So this is my recipe. I wrote it down over the years and just critiqued it, and I just do it by my taste, and if I want to put anything extra in there, I throw it in there. Today I have cooked with these beans. They are cooking now. They've been cooking for about 3 to 4 hours. They are not quite done yet. They've got pinto in them. And then I had 1 can of navy beans that were just a can, and I used those. But this is where I've been cooking the beans at, and I'm fixing to move all of this over to the crock pot as soon as I get these beans cooked. So what I've done here is I have cut and diced my onions. I put a lot more onions in it than I normally do, and the navy beans are in the crock pot. I'm going to put the pinto beans and all that, mix it up in just a second. But I put the chicken bourguignon, I put 3 of them in there for taste because I started with water, and when you start with water from scratch, you want to make sure that you've got a concentrate to cook with. I have used the Great Northern beans from Walmart. I have used the 3 chicken cubes, and this is what I've used. Okay, so now they're boiling. They're almost tender and ready to go. This recipe, you can use canned pintos. You can use canned navy beans. You can use the mixed beans is a good one. I am just doing it because that's all I had in stock today. So I've almost got the caramelization now. I'm going to turn it over where you can see this caramelization on this chicken. That's what I'm looking for, that light caramel color, because it's got all that flavor. And I'm going to finish cooking this. It's all about taste with my food. I've added a little bit of just Mediterranean spice sea salt to it, just for a little more taste, as well as the salt and pepper. Now that the chicken's almost done, I'm going to use a little bit of white wine because I got the stove top pretty hot. So what it's going to do is evaporate and put those flavors into that chicken. You see all that flavor is going to go into that chicken. It's going to evaporate that alcohol, and it's going to make that chicken taste so good in the chili. Okay, as you can see, I've already turned off the heat. The heat is still cooking this chicken, just barely. I'm leaving it on the stove top, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it because you see all the moisture and all the juices. I want to get that all in the chicken, and I'm just dicing it, and I'm fixing to drop it into the chili. And now I'm going to drop all of this into the crock pot because I'm wanting all that juice from that chicken into those flavors, and I'm fixing to scrape out some more of this pan. So as my pintos are still cooking, they're not in here yet, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the cumin, and I'm going to use a significant amount because I started with water. So you want to make sure you got your cumin because that's a bunch of taste right there for your chili. Cumin is a huge taste. I want to use some thyme, and you're going to mix this to your taste. So after you get done with this, don't forget to taste this and see if this is good for you. I'm going to use a little bit of garlic powder. This is usually what I use, and I don't have a lot of garlic powder, but I'm going to use just a little bit. And then I'm going to use some oregano, and I'm going to use fresh basil because fresh basil is absolutely my favorite. But these are some of the seasons I'm using, but I'm trying to make that water get more of a taste, and that's where I'm going with that. And I'm fixing to add my pintos with a little more taste to it. The one thing I do is I freeze my, like this is my orange bell pepper, this is my yellow bell pepper. I freeze it and I wait until I need to use it. So I've already pulled out what I need from the freezer, and I'm fixing to chop it up and put it in here. One thing different today I'm going to use a sweet chili. I'm going to use a mini sweet chili pepper, and I'm going to use the red one and dice it up. So I'm fixing to add all of this to my crock pot and mix it up because I've already got the cumin, and I'm going to taste it in just a second to make sure the cumin and the thyme and all that's together properly with the with the flavors. Probably going to add just a little more cumin, and still waiting on those beans, but they're coming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the beans now, and I'm going to put them into my crock pot because I find that some of the flavor from the beans can be a little strong and not seasoned where I need it to be. So I just kind of want the beans and not the juice. And I'm putting it all in here and fixing to mix it all up. And you want it white chili because white chili is from like your chicken broth, and you can do this recipe so many ways, and I'll just tell you how in just a second. So always remember to taste when you're fixing your food. Fix it to your taste. I don't have enough cumin in here, so I'm gonna have to add just a little more cumin. And you say it's a lot, it's not. It's going to season into it, and I'm gonna add just a little more thyme, and then I'm gonna come back and add some basil straight to it, and we're almost there. See how good that looks? That is white chili right there. How it mixes up, and it's gonna be really, really good. And I think today we're gonna have this with it. I'm feeling like some lime, so I think I'll put some lime juice maybe in it. Okay, so there's a few things I did change with this recipe just for today. I just fixed it to my taste. So remember to taste your food as you're going. You can start the chicken off in the crock pot with just water, and you're going to get it to the chicken. What's going to do is the chicken's going to flavor that water with the chicken juice. Or you can start with chicken parmesan, which I did, and I used 3 of them, which was very good today because I was in a quick hurry. And I kind of wanted seared chicken instead of poached chicken. You can start on the stove with the poached chicken if you want, in water, boiling water, and the chicken's gonna cook, and you can use the chicken juice from that. But I did do the quick one, and I fixed it all in the crock pot just for it to cold in the crock pot till we can eat. I kind of cooked everything and added it to the crock pot. Today I added the wine. I don't usually add the wine, but it's really, really good. I've already tasted it, and it's really, really on target with the taste. Lime juice, I did add a little bit of lime juice. You want to be careful with lime juice because you don't want to add too much. You don't want to overpower your food. So just when you're adding your flavors, make sure you're checking your taste. Make sure the cumin is a huge one. That's the huge one with that white chili. That is what's going to make it taste like that chili taste. So that is what you want to do when you're cooking that white chili. But just make sure you're watching your taste and fix it to your taste. And y'all all have a good day. Bye. So when you start with a big piece of chicken like this, you want to take it and slice it. Anytime you have a big chicken, you want to slice it in half. This is to create where your moisture, you're not going to have a dried out chicken. It's going to be like where you can cook on both sides and sear it, where it's going to get done, but it's not going to get dried out. So that's what I'm doing here. And when you're storing it to freeze it, you can also do it like this. You can create a family pack with 17 pieces of chicken instead of 7 pieces of chicken.